Hey guys, what's going on? It is Miss A. Welcome back to my channel. I really felt called today to do a healing message for you guys, to channel some messages from spirit. I know that lately things have been really heavy, and I felt called to just channel a healing message and see what messages spirit has for you during this time. Um, so I'm gonna just go to the card selection and then we can get started. So we have group number one, group number two, and group number three. You just use your intuition and see which group you feel called to select, and then go to the timestamp down below, and then you'll get your reading. Okay, group number one. So this is going to be your reading. I actually took down some notes of what I was feeling as I was channeling messages for this group. And with this group, I felt like a lot of intense emotions, almost like I wanted to cry. Like I felt really heavy and I felt really choked up. And I feel like this was saying that a lot of things need to be released during this time. A lot of things need to be honored. Like perhaps you're not really honoring a lot of your emotions, or a lot of things just need to be released. A lot of healing needs to occur, and truth needs to be spoken during this time. I also felt a lot of pressure behind my eyes. So for me, this feels like some of you might be maybe opening up to new ideas or possibilities. For some of you, I feel like some gifts are awakening within you that you maybe did not notice that you had before. That is also a possibility. And yeah, so let's go into your cards. Okay, so for group number one, you have the universe, heart chakra, victory and success, fertility, and then you have foundation and achievements. So with the universe card and right next to the heart chakra, I feel that for some of you guys, a new cycle is coming into fruition. I feel like you guys have been going through a lot of growth lately, and I feel that for some of you, because I felt so much heaviness and so much intense emotion, like I almost wanted to cry, I feel like you guys need to have a very healing cry right now. Like I think a lot of you have been going through a lot of just pain and discomfort. And with the victory and success, fertility, and then foundation and achievements, I feel that you guys are going to be experiencing a lot of triumphs and a lot of wins. I think lately you've been maybe feeling as though you haven't been winning enough, or you feel like you've been on the losing end of things, or maybe your luck has not been that great. But I feel like Spirit has been giving you a lot of downloads lately. I also just feel like this is a big part of your life path. Like, even though it's so annoying to hear when you're going through something like, oh, everything happens for a reason, it's like it's really a divine truth that everything does happen for a reason. And I think that what you guys have been going through is going to really leave you well equipped to be able to embrace the next stage and the next phase in your journey. I feel like this is going to be a very transformative period for you, because with the universe, this really is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn deals with like a lot of harsh, tough lessons. So I feel like you guys have been going through a lot of really tough lessons as of late, but with victory and success, I feel like there's going to be a lot of triumphs coming your way. I also feel like some of you might even be getting some type of messages or some type of news. And also because this is a purple border, which does deal with like spiritual messages, I feel like for some of you guys, you're able to channel messages probably, or like maybe you're a psychic or just very intuitive, but I feel like a lot of you guys have been feeling a lot of messages emotionally. So for some of you, you could be an empath, or maybe you've just been feeling very sensitive when you're around certain people. With the card of fertility, this card really just talks about growth, um, expansion, transformation. It talks about self-love, and it's coupled next to foundation and achievement. So for some of you guys, this could literally mean that, you might be getting pregnant, or you might be pregnant right now. But for others, I think that this just represents like a resurgence, or a almost like you're coming back to life. I feel like a lot of you have been just struggling with feeling fulfilled and feeling alive, if that makes sense. Not that you're dead or anything, but like I feel like you've been struggling with just feeling very passionate and feeling very at ease, and I feel like there's going to be a resurgence coming very soon. I also feel like you guys maybe have been feeling a bit off balance or unstable, but with foundation and achievements, and also, we have this rainbow right here, and rainbows for me really represent blessings. So I feel like a lot of blessings are going to be coming your way. A lot of healing is also going to be happening within the home. I do see like a family unit here. So for some of you guys, you might even be getting a new home, but for some of you, I think that you're going to be healing a lot of things in your home, or maybe healing from like childhood wounds that are surrounding the home. Okay. Then we have the door to personal healing and happiness. We have the man holding a coin, and then we have the healer of the ages in reversed. So what I noticed when I actually channeled these cards is that the door to personal healing and happiness is 34, and then the man holding a coin is 43. So it's almost like these cards are mirroring each other. And then up here, we have number 3, because numerology, we always add the numbers together. So this is number 3, and then we have the heart chakra, which is represented by number 4. Fertility, which is also card number 3, and then we have foundation and achievements, which is card number 4. So I feel like for me, 3 really represents like growth and expansion. And I feel like a lot of you guys are just going to be healing. Like I said, I think there's going to be a big resurgence right now, and just a lot of growth that's going to be coming your way. And for me, 4 represents like 3 is like the divine feminine, and then 4 is like the divine masculine, because 4 deals with order, structure, authority, control. So for some of you, I think that you've been feeling very out of control lately. Maybe you feel like you haven't been having the best of luck, or you haven't had much control over what's been going on in your life. But I think you guys are going to be taking your power back and taking your control back. And I think this is going to just be a very good period for you. For a lot of you guys, I also see that money will be coming in with this man holding a coin. So there's going to be like a lot of abundance. And with the healer of the ages being in reverse, I really feel like this is talking a lot about spiritual growth. I feel like for some of you guys, new spiritual gifts are awakening within you. And I think that you need to really work on trusting your intuition, because I feel like for some of you, I think that you have inherent gifts that maybe have been dormant, like inherent psychic abilities, or just whether you're like an empath, or you're highly intuitive, or you're clairaudient or clairsentient, or clairvoyant. It's like you have these gifts and they've been with you since birth. But I think that for some of you guys, maybe they've been repressed, or maybe you felt like you didn't want to sound crazy for thinking that you had these gifts. So I feel like with the healer of the ages, like Spirit really wants you to just embrace the fact that you are very gifted, and that your path is one that will involve you using these gifts. We also have rainbow symbolism again in this one. So again, there's just going to be a lot of blessings that are going to be coming in, and I feel like you guys are going to be embracing happiness. I think that there is some healing that needs to be done around your heart. So I think for some of you, maybe you've gotten your heart broken, or maybe like for the past couple of months or couple of weeks, you've just been feeling very drained emotionally. But I feel like a lot of happiness and healing is going to be coming your way very soon. So then we have the cards of guilt, change, indecision, and self-esteem. So again, when I see this card of guilt, I really think about the heart chakra. So I feel like there is some things that need to be released with you guys. I think that maybe you're feeling guilty about the past, because this does look like previous cycles. I feel like you guys have been pondering the past a lot, and perhaps there's just things that you've been holding on to. a lot of guilt that you've been feeling from the way that you have been in the past, or maybe the way that you've treated people, or maybe the way that people have treated you. But Spirit is saying that you need to release that. Okay, like you need to release that for your own healing, because holding on to it is really becoming detrimental to you. Um, this card really just looks like very like, I'm just getting like a lot of confusion. So I feel like for some of you, you've just been thinking about, you've been having like cyclic thinking, like thinking about the same things over and over and over again, and it's almost like pointless in a way, because you can't really change the past. You can only reflect on it and grow from it and heal from it and learn from it. So I feel like you guys have an issue with embracing change. And I think that that's something that you need to work on during this time. I think you need to just really understand that it's time to move on and it's time to move forward. With indecision, I do feel like it's reinforcing these feelings of guilt and change. I think that you guys have been very indecisive about maybe whether to move on and whether or not you really want to heal. This card also talks about using your intuition. So again, with all of these gifts that have been awakening within you, I feel like you need to listen to Spirit during this time, and allow your intuition to guide you. Okay, so then we have self-esteem, and I think that this is just speaking to you guys building up your self-esteem, learning to love yourself. With the heart chakra, this does deal, when you're healing your heart, you are working on healing old wounds, but you also just need to work on like putting some of that energy of love towards yourself also. I feel like that's really going to help you guys. And when you heal yourself, you also help people around you heal as well. So I feel like once you guys do this, I feel like once you start to just heal and release the past and embrace, your inner divinity, I feel like this energy is just gonna radiate onto the people around you. That's also a strong message that I'm getting. You see here, like these orbs are just kind of like blossoming like outside of the person. I feel like once you, and then look, this also looks like kind of like the heart chakra area as well. So it's like once you start to heal your heart and build up your self-esteem again, I feel like you're going to also help the people around you heal too, which is going to be incredible. So then we have the Divine Feminine, which is the Cosmic Egg card. We have Goddess of All That Flows, and then the Morning Star. So I feel with this that you guys are being asked to, again, channel into that healing energy. The Divine Feminine is also represented here with this card of fertility, which is also represented by the Empress in Tarot. So I feel like you guys need to realize that you are very gifted, that you have been chosen by Spirit, and that your mission is very important. It's almost too important for you to allow the past to stop you and to hold you back. With the Goddess of All That Flows, I feel like you guys just need to go with the flow. Like, I'm getting that you guys just need to really just allow things to flow, and I feel like you've been stopping things from flowing naturally because you're so focused on what's happened in the past. I also get that with like the card of indecision and the card of guilt. I feel like you guys are stopping yourself from really flowing and from going to the next level because you're stuck on the past, and you have to release that and you have to let that go. And with the Morning Star, it says, the ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. So this speaks to me and says that you guys are really working on healing your soul right now. For some of you, I also feel like a lot of what you have been experiencing lately is a result of like past life karma. So it's possible that you guys could benefit from doing maybe like a past life regression, or even taking like a spiritual bath. I'm also feeling that like a lot of like, I feel like water is so cleansing, and I think if you guys were to like do a spiritual bath, I think it could really help you with being able to kind of clear out this like old stagnant energy and being able to just heal. And like I was saying earlier, with feeling very heavy energetically and just feeling very like heavy emotions, I feel like you guys also just need to just have a good cry, like maybe do some writing and think about all the things, write down all the things that you want to release, and cry and like let it go and just release it to the divine. I feel like that's really going to be a healing experience for you. So with the angel messages, you also had hello from heaven, there's sentience, and then overcoming difficulties. So again, like I was saying with your gifts being awakened during this time, I feel like a lot of you guys are clairsentient, so you are getting some downloads lately through your emotions, and I feel like this is really spirit just guiding you. Like, I know that sometimes waking up to psychic gifts can be a bit overwhelming, and sometimes you might not always know what's going on, and you might not even trust the messages that you're receiving. But you were put on this path for a reason, and I feel like you just really need to honor that right now. And the more that you honor that, the more that you live in that truth, I feel like your gifts are going to open up even more. But you have to learn to just trust the messages that you receive. Okay, and then we have hello from heaven. So this tells me that there's definitely a spirit guide or an ancestor around you that has been guiding you. Possibly this person has been visiting you in your dreams, or this person has been giving you messages. Maybe you haven't, maybe you're not able to kind of understand when they're giving you messages or how they're giving you messages. So perhaps this person has been giving you messages from heaven, but this definitely does feel like it's an energy of a spirit guide, and they're just telling you to kind of let go of worries and feel the loving blessings. So I feel like you guys are, again, like very spiritually in tune. I feel like this person has been giving you a lot of downloads and a lot of messages lately. With overcoming difficulties from Archangel Jeremiah, it's interesting because Archangel Jeremiah really does deal with psychic gifts and with visions. So I feel like if you have this archangel around you, that this is also a confirmation that your psychic gifts are awakened, or are awakening, or that they're elevating. And this card is talking about overcoming difficulties. So again, like, you guys have been going through a lot, but you are going to be overcoming difficulties during this time. There's also the representation here of like a feather, and feathers usually deal with like angels being around you. So you guys possibly have like a lot of angels that are surrounding you during this time, and that are also assisting you with this path that you're on. You know, they're assisting you with your life path and with your soul's journey. So then we have the cards again of trust and then of ground yourself. And both of these cards are represented by green borders, which also correlates with the heart chakra. So I feel like you guys are really being asked to just like trust the messages that you're receiving. With the clairsentience, I feel like, you know, it says notice recurring physical and emotional feelings. So like, kind of like how when I was channeling these messages, I just felt like I needed to cry. I feel like you guys have to really focus on what your emotions are telling you, what your heart is telling you. I feel like that's really your spiritual gifts awakening and guiding you in the right direction. So you really have to trust the messages that you have been receiving. I also feel like with the ground yourself, I think you guys again just need to do like a cleansing, possibly do maybe a grounding meditation as well, or go outside and maybe just walk barefoot like in the grass or in nature. But I feel like you guys can really benefit from just doing like some type of cleansing practice. Maybe you could even do some candle work. But I really feel like going outside or even doing a spiritual bath, because that's something that has always helped me with being able to kind of center myself again and ground myself. I feel like that can really be beneficial to you guys. Okay, so these are all the messages that I have for you guys. I really hope that this helped and that this provided you with a bit of clarity, and most importantly with some healing. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 2. This is your reading. I wanted to first go into some notes because I did take some notes as I was channeling these messages for you guys. And I felt really anxious with this group for some reason. I felt a lot of heartburn, and as well as like a lot of heaviness and like almost like a choking up feeling in my throat. So for me, this says that there's something that's like not being expressed. I think that you guys have something that like a truth or something that you're just holding back and you're not expressing properly. With heartburn, usually I feel like this just represents a lot of like discomfort, and just feeling very like almost like you're not, like you're lying to yourself, you know, like you're not being honest with yourself about something, you're holding back with something. I also do feel like some type of heaviness right now around my eyes. So it's possible that maybe you see something, but you're allowing yourself to not be truthful about what it is that you're seeing. That's just a message that I'm feeling. But let's just see what comes out. Also, you guys had a lot of cards that did come out as well. But let's just see what your cards are saying. So we have sacral chakra, we have temptation, emotional loss, financial and material changes, disruption, and then trapped in fear. So to be honest with you guys, like I was saying, like I did feel like anxiousness with this group, and usually anxiousness you kind of feel like in your stomach. At least I do. And we have the sacral chakra that came out first, and that chakra usually deals with sexuality, desires, creativity, emotions, and then it comes next to temptation. So for some reason, I feel like you guys have been stuck on, I think, like things that are just not serving you and that are not working for you anymore, or things that just have you feeling very stuck on what feels good rather than what's actually good for you. Temptation, this card is usually corresponds with the devil, and the devil deals with like just overindulgence in things that really don't serve us anymore. And then that's also coupled next to emotional loss. So for some of you guys, I think that you have an emotional attachment to something that is not working for you anymore. Perhaps some of you have been lustful or like almost engaging in sex with people that you know you're not supposed to really be with, or people that you maybe don't feel 100% about, like not someone that you really want to have a divine partnership with, or like a long lasting partnership. You're just doing it just because you don't want to be alone. And I hope that that's not like offensive or anything. Like I'm just going to tell you guys the way that the messages come out. Like, you know, I'm going to be very honest, but I feel like for some of you, you are stuck on someone that's just not working for you anymore. This could be just like a sexual or like a lustful connection that you guys have. For other people, I feel like you guys have been using maybe substances or like just like unhealthy habits or addictions to kind of hide, you know, heartbreak. Like maybe you're feeling like a lot of emotional loss right now. So as a result, you've been engaging in like unhealthy behaviors to mask though you dealing with those feelings. And I feel like you guys are allowing fear to really hold you back. You know, with this trapped in fear, I feel like there's something that you're not really communicating properly. Like you feel as though you're locked in a cage. You feel as though you can't get out of this situation, but you can. But I feel like um you just don't want to move on, you know, and spirit is really asking you to move on and to make a choice and to make a decision that's really going to be beneficial to you. Like, you really have to honor yourself. With this group, I felt a lot of anxiety. And even with the disruption card, this man just seems to be kind of like guarding himself. If you see here, he's just like, he has his arms crossed over his chest, like he's guarding himself, but like his body is all disfigured, like he's falling apart, you know. And I feel like, and this card actually corresponds with the tower, which deals with like change and like things breaking down that are built on like really weak foundations. So I feel like whatever this addiction, and forgive me if it's not an addiction, but like I just feel like for some of you it could just be an addiction, like an unhealthy addiction or an unhealthy habit that you engage in, something that is self-sabotaging, that's just not working for you anymore. And I feel like you do this or you practice this to kind of mask pain in your life. And I think that Spirit is just saying that you need to just honor your emotions during this time and stop allowing fear to get in the way of your growth. With financial and material changes, I feel like there are a lot of things that are going to be shifting for you. So maybe things have not been so great with like your finances or like with your material abundance, but I feel like things are really going to be shifting for you. But I feel like you can't be afraid of change. If you really want change to come into your life, then you have to embrace it. You can't be afraid of things changing and shifting in your life. Okay, so I just feel like you guys need to work on honoring what it is that truly makes you happy, and don't be stuck on sensations and don't be stuck on pleasures, because pleasures come and go, but like you need to really focus on what it is that makes you happy on the inside. Like, what is it that you feel truly passionate about? What is it that is really going to be serving your spirit and serving your soul? I feel like for some of you, you're just like you're letting fear keep you trapped in certain situations. So then we have cornucopia, anxiety, and then we have the second chakra, which is Archangel Ariel. So again, this is like emphasizing the second chakra, which is the sacral chakras, and it came out reversed. So this just tells me that you guys are not you're not honoring yourselves. You're really not honoring yourselves during this time. And I feel like with the anxiety, it's like you're allowing fear and anxiety to hold you back. With cornucopia, there are a lot of blessings that could be coming your way. A lot of things that you are preventing from flowing into your life because you're allowing fear to stagnate you and to hold you back. I think a lot of you have just been stuck on the past or stuck on someone or something that just isn't working for you anymore. I'm also just seeing that, like, I'm seeing a lot of like disruption on the outside, which to me kind of corresponds with like tower energy again with this card. So I feel like, like this woman here, like she just looks like she's very troubled, and like she's avoiding the storms outside, and she's just kind of stuck in her own mind. I think that you have to work on dealing with things head on. I think that you have to really work on being honest with yourself and just doing what it is that you need to do for your own personal growth and your own personal healing. I feel like you are allowing some type of situation or some unhealthy habit to really hold you back, and I think that it's not working for you anymore, but for some reason it's so hard for you to let it go. So then we have honesty. Okay, so again, you need to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about what it is that is serving you and what's not serving you. I also just see that, like, and then we have service and we have fear. So with service, I feel like for some of you guys, you tend to be people pleasing people. I think that you tend to feel like you need to be of service to other people, or you need to make other people happy, and you allow that to get in the way of your own happiness. You have to not do that. Like, people pleasing is really not going to get you anywhere. And I feel like fear, again, like fear is also being reinforced here. You guys are allowing fear to really just keep you trapped and and keep you in a box, keep you in a cage. This imagery here looks like a square, like a box, and then in here with the trapped in fear, it looks like this person is also trapped in a cage also. So I feel like you guys are allowing yourselves to be caged by something. I think you're allowing fear to just really get in the way of blessings manifesting in your life. And I think that more importantly than being of service to other people, I think you need to just be of service to yourself during this time, and be honest with yourself. Like, ask yourself, like, look at the people around you, and look at what you have been doing as of late, and ask yourself if it's really serving your highest good. Is it making you happy, or is it making you miserable? Okay, so then we have the goddess of compassion, we have the queen of the wilderness, and then we have the goddess of light. So with these cards, I feel that, like, you need to be compassionate towards yourself during this time. And this says, recognizing suffering in order to release it, curiosity breeding compassion. So I feel like for some of you guys, I think that you feel like you need to be compassionate. For some of you, I think that this is also dealing with a person. I feel like for some of you guys, you are stuck on somebody, and it's like you don't want to let this person go because you feel as though if you leave them, like something might happen to them, or they might not be doing as well if they don't have you around. But to be honest, I feel like you just need to be putting yourself first during this time. And this queen of the wilderness, I feel like this is just talking about going on your own journey, going out into the wild, like doing things that are really just going to be for you and you alone. Sometimes I think that people tend to think that it's selfish for you to be focusing on yourself, but actually it's just you honoring yourself, and that's actually part of self-love. You can't be putting everyone else before your own happiness and your own growth and your own success, because if you're not at 100%, then nothing else in your life is going to be at 100%. And then the goddess of light is just a reminder that you guys need to remember your inner divinity. I feel like you guys are abandoning your your divinity when you don't honor yourself and honor your emotions and respect yourself and love on yourself, you know? I think spirit really wants you to know that you just have to like put yourself first, because I mean, otherwise what are you going to do? Like, what other option is there? Okay? So then we have angel messages, which is chakra clearing. So I feel like you guys do need to work on clearing out your sacral chakra, especially because it did come out earlier in the reverse position. I feel like that chakra is a bit blocked right now, and I think that is the reason why you guys are feeling as though you're stuck on like pleasures, and maybe that's why you have a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear. But I feel like you guys really have to work on honoring honoring yourselves, and just also do a chakra clearing. For some of you guys, I would recommend doing like a spiritual bath. I think that's going to be very cleansing for you, honestly. With beloved one, I feel like for some of you, you have been stuck on someone that's not serving you, or that's someone that's not really healthy to keep in your life. So this card is talking about bringing in your soulmate, your spiritual soulmate relationship. So if you have been stuck on someone because you don't want to be alone, or you just don't like, you don't want to be alone, or you can't handle being by yourself, I feel like spirit is saying that you need to release that person, because you're blocking out your soulmate from coming to you. Like, your soulmate is going to come to you once you release this person. And then this card here is saying that, from Archangel Azrael, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So again, I feel like you guys just need to work on healing. I think you need to work on yourselves right now, work on loving yourself, work on honoring yourself and your emotions. And I feel like that's really going to be beneficial to you during this time. Okay, so for final messages, we have synchronicity, intuitive nudges, and then love. So the intuitive nudges is really calling out to me, because I feel like you guys know intuitively what it is that you need to do and what it is that you need to let go of. But I feel like some of you have been very stubborn, and I think that you've been allowing you've been allowing pleasure to kind of block, and pleasure and also fear to block you from like doing what is actually best for you and doing what's going to be most healing for you. I think with the card of love, it's just saying that you need to work on loving yourself. I also see a lot of music here, so I feel like for you guys, I feel like maybe listening to like a guided meditation, or just listening to some music and like dancing, I think that's going to be very healing for you during this time. I also just see like people with their eyes closed, so I feel like you guys really need to like work on just connecting with spirit, honestly. Even meditating, or just taking some time to just be to yourself, like just taking a little bit of isolation, and distancing yourself from these unhealthy habits, or these unhealthy people that are in your life. With synchronicity, I feel like there's definitely a lot of cycles, a new cycle that is going to be coming your way. Things that are going to be changing, but like spirit wants you to know that you need to like embrace that. There have been a lot of signs and a lot of downloads that you've been getting, but I feel like you've been ignoring them and just going to what is easy, or like what feels comfortable, what feels pleasurable to you. I don't think that you're really going for what it is that is actually best for you, and I think that that's what you're being called to do during this time. So thank you guys so much for watching. These are all the messages that I have for you today. I hope that this message has been very healing, and that it resonated with you. And if it did, do let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hello, group number 3. This is going to be your reading. So first, I wanted to get into some notes that I took of what I was feeling when I was channeling messages for this group. And to be honest with you, I feel like the first 2 groups were a bit heavy with the messages and just with the energy I was feeling around them. But for you guys, I felt really, really light. I also started burping, which to me symbolizes an internal release. So I feel like maybe this has been a period, or lately you guys have been just releasing a lot of things that are no longer serving you, they're no longer working for you, a lot of things that you've been internalizing for a very long time. I feel like you have been releasing a lot of that. I also felt like pressure in my head, so this could relate to the third eye of the crown chakra. So it's possible that you guys could have been receiving a lot of downloads. Perhaps you guys are psychic or like you're spiritual workers in some capacity. But like let's just see what what your cards are saying, right? Okay, so let's get started. Also, let me just say that you guys so many cards came out for you guys when I was drawing for you guys. So many cards flew out. So this is actually pretty awesome. Okay, so we have truth, movement, choices, decisions, moving on, transformation, love begins, power, awareness, and patience and planning. So let's start off with truth because truth really corresponds with judgment as the card from tarot. But when I just think about truth in general, I just feel like you guys have been really waking up to like living in your truth. I feel like you guys have been expanding almost like in your life path. I feel like you've just been really working on like honoring yourself and like and doing what it is that you feel guided to do, that's part of your soul mission. I just feel like you guys have been really working on just like balance, like achieving balance in your life. In numerology, we don't really count zeros, so we always look at the number. And like for this card is number 20, and then right next to it we have movement, choices, and decisions, which is also represented by number 2. So I feel like when I think about 2, I think about duality, I think about balance. I also always just think about intuition. So I feel like you guys are really just achieving a lot of balance in your life and a lot of structure. And I think that you guys have just like evened out the scales. Like, in your own personal journey. I feel like you guys have been learning so much and just taking so much in. I also feel like for some of you guys have maybe received some news as of late of like you've been given some sort of revelation about a truth or something that maybe has been on your mind or something that you've been pondering for quite some time. And I feel like you finally made a choice or a decision about what it is that you want to do, what path you want to take, where you want to go. I feel that you guys are just like a new passion has been ignited in you. I also see with the card of moving on, I feel that you guys are really leaving behind something that's no longer serving you. In this card, it's like almost like there's like this like dark, shadowy energy behind this person. So I honestly feel that you guys are just releasing things that just don't work anymore. That like maybe you guys have been doing like some shadow work, or maybe you've just been like realizing some things about. I feel like this really has to do with like other people or external forces, but this could also just be something that has to do with you as well. But I feel like you guys have been like really releasing a lot of things that just don't serve anymore. You've just been moving on and like letting go. And right next to that we have transformation, and transformation is really represented by death, the card the death card in tarot. So for me, death really represents like, the ending of one, the closing of one cycle and the beginning of another one. And I feel like for you guys, I feel like you guys are just really going through a transformational period right now. I think you guys are experiencing a lot of change and a lot of growth in your life for the better. I also just do feel like we have like Pluto energy here, but I also see like, you could be a Scorpio. Okay, some of you guys could be a Gemini or a Virgo, and for some of you guys, you could also even be a Leo, but not limited to those signs. But I just feel like I see a lot of like powerful energy here because it's like a lot of major arcana representations that I pulled. But I feel like you guys are really headed in the right direction. I think that's like the overall message that Spirit really wants you to know. I feel like you guys are starting something new with this love begin. So it's possible that you could have met someone, or your soulmate is coming into your life. But I feel like something new is beginning for you. If you guys are single, I feel like this could also just deal with like a project. So maybe something that you've been feeling really passionate about or that you've been wanting to start. I feel like this is, if you haven't started it yet, like this is Spirit saying that now's the time to really start it. Now's the time to get the gears going. I feel like you're being really supported right now. And I feel like for those of you who also did who are in a relationship, this could just be a resurgence or like a rebirth in the connection between you and your soulmate. I also see a lot of rainbow symbolism here, which to me represents blessings. So I feel like a lot of blessings are going to be coming in for you in the near future. With the card of power, this also deals with the card of strength. So I feel like you guys are really stepping into your personal power. I think you guys have received a lot of like a lot of knowledge, a lot of downloads, a lot of wisdom in the past couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe even couple of years. But I feel like you've grown a lot. And I feel like right now you are channeling and tapping into like a new strength that maybe you didn't even know that you had. I feel like you guys are manifesting something that you really wanted, that you've really been wanting for quite some time. And I think that there's also just what looks like, I feel like there's just like a new gift that's being downloaded to you almost. Like I feel like for some of you guys are very psychic. Like I was saying, I felt like a lot of pressure in my third and crown chakra areas. So I feel like you guys are very psychic, and I feel like these gifts are awakening within you. I also see that you guys are going to be building a lot of new foundations. So it's possible that in the past there was like a lot of disruption, or maybe for some of you guys, I feel like you felt maybe blocked in some capacity. Like you felt like, maybe luck wasn't on your side, or maybe things were not going in your favor. But I feel like right now, this like blockages have been removed, and I feel like you guys are really being pushed to like just go for your dreams and go for your goals and go for what it is that you've been wanting to manifest, because it's definitely going to be manifesting well for you right now. So then we have action, appreciation, and then angel of love in reverse. So for some of you, with the angel of love in reverse, I am seeing that like I feel like this deals with like the card of moving on. I think that for some of you guys are moving away from things that are just not serving your highest good, things that you're not passionate about, things that you just know are just not for you anymore. I also feel like spirit is calling for you guys to just think about what it is in your life that you really want. Like, the things that you've been trying to manifest, I feel like they're going to come, but you also just have to like believe in it. Like you have to have your whole heart into it. You can't have any doubt in your mind that what you want is what you're going to get. That's like the main thing with manifesting. Like you have to believe in yourself, and you have to also believe that you have it already, and that you're going to get it. With appreciation, I feel like you guys are just in a period right now, and appreciation also next to action. I feel like you guys are really being pushed to move towards your dreams and move towards your goals. And I feel like you also are being asked to like express some gratitude. Really appreciate the things that you have, really appreciate how far you have come in your journey. I also just see like this person's just standing by themselves, like they're not really like um there's no one really around them. This kind of reminds me of like the what is that card? I think it's this Nine of Pentacles. But like the person is just kind of around them, and like they have so much abundance. And I feel like you just have to like really appreciate the blessings that you have right now. Like for some of you, I feel like maybe this might even be like a lonely period for you. Maybe you feel like, you don't really have a lot of people around you. And like I was saying earlier with the soulmate, I feel like for some of you guys, your soulmate is going to be coming in. But like, I think that spirit just really wants you guys to just show some appreciation and express some gratitude, because you didn't get here by accident. You definitely have the support of spirit behind you. So I feel like they just really want you to express gratitude during this time. Okay. So then we have, oh yeah, it's so crazy. I said gratitude, then we have the gratitude card right here. Yeah. So we have gratitude, peace, purpose, and then relationships. So yeah, again, like you guys just have to express some gratitude. And I think even if you guys have been going through a lot of storms, or like a lot of disruption maybe in the past, I think that like you just have to be thankful for like all the bumps in the road also, because it's really helped you get to where you need to be. I also do see the symbolism of like an eye. So I feel like, you guys are being blessed right now with a lot of psychic gifts. And this is something that really needs to be like, you really need to express gratitude for that, because not everyone has these gifts. But I feel like your gifts are going to be coming in very strong, if not already. Um, and I feel like with peace, I think that you guys are in a state of peace right now. Or if you have not been feeling at peace, I feel like this energy is definitely coming. With you guys, like I said, I felt really light. I feel like a lot of things have been released for you guys as of late. So possibly you guys are just like feeling very peaceful at the moment, which is great. Also with the card of transformation and the card of death, I feel like this also talks about endings that are just imposed by spirit. So it's possible that spirit just wants you to be thankful for what has ended. Like even if it ended abruptly and it wasn't the way that, even if things didn't go the way that you wanted them to before, I feel like you have to be very thankful for that, because it's really part of like divine intervention. I feel like that's just the way it's supposed to happen for your path and for your soul journey. With purpose, I think you guys are really coming into your purpose. Like, you're figuring out what it is that you want to do. There's like, again, a lot of purple symbolism. So these really seem like psychic gifts to me. I feel like this is a very highly spiritual group. Some of you guys can even be spirit workers, but I feel like this is confirmation that spiritual work is definitely part of your path. So I think for some of you, maybe you weren't even sure if that was something that you should be doing, but that's a download that I got just now. Like, definitely, that is part of your path. Also know that, like, even if you do decide to like do spiritual work, like, you are a multifaceted individual. There are so many different other aspects of you. So even if that is something that is a gift for you, like, you can also use your gifts and channel them into other things. Like, you don't have to just be only one thing. That's also a message that's coming through. With relationships, I feel like, again, like when we were talking about with soulmate connections and love begins, with this card of love begins, I feel like you guys are calling in your soulmate. I think that you guys are also going to be calling in your soul tribe. I think a lot of the people that are meant to be in your life are going to be coming in very soon. So perhaps like you guys had to move on before from like people that just weren't serving you and people that were like not, that didn't have your best interest. But I feel like you guys are really going to be moving towards the direction of finding people that are really meant to be in your life. That's also being reinforced for me too with the angel of love. I feel like maybe you guys have been hurt in the past. Maybe people have disappointed you a lot, and it's made you a little bit pessimistic almost about letting new people in. But like, I feel like you guys are really going to be attracting the people in your life that are supposed to be there. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Oh, nice. Okay, so so first, we have the High Priestess, the Buddha of Enlightened Action, the Warrior Saint, and then the Enlightened Feminine. So, okay, we have the High Priestess, the Buddha of Enlightened Action, and then the Enlightened Feminine. So you guys are very, very much psychic, or you have like spiritual gifts. I really feel that so strong. I feel like you guys have been receiving a lot of messages or a lot of downloads lately. Perhaps you're experiencing like almost like an enlightenment period where like, your gifts are just awakening very strong within you. If you guys already knew that you had gifts, then it's possible that you maybe are getting new ones that you didn't think that you had before. I know that has been happening to me recently. So like, possibly, like when you experience something, like the collective is usually experiencing it also. So I think that you guys are just really waking up to like a lot of new gifts as of late. I also feel that with the Warrior Saint, I feel like you guys are like being pushed to a path of like service. Like, so like these gifts that you have are definitely going to be able to help not only you, but like the collective as well. It's going to be able to help a lot of people, and I feel like it's a big part of your life path. I also just see like when I think of the High Priestess, I think about secrets and like a lot of divine wisdom. So it's possible that right now you're just like being asked to like focus inward and like really listen to your soul and really listen to what your spirit is telling you. And I also feel that like you have to live in your truth. So for some of you guys, I feel like maybe living in your truth has been hard before when it comes to these gifts and these abilities that you have, but I feel like you need to honor them, and the more that you honor them is the stronger that they're going to become. Okay, so then we have, okay, yeah. We have divine order. I'm laughing because like, even though I channeled these messages earlier, I tend to forget like what it is that came out before. So it's like, as I'm channeling the messages now, and it's like I see these cards come out, it's just like more confirmation for me of what I am hearing. So it's very exciting. But so we have divine order, we have indigo and crystal children, and then we have creative writing. So when I was talking earlier about like honoring your truth, I feel like for some of you guys, maybe as a child you realized that you had these gifts, but like they've been repressed, or like maybe you didn't like feel comfortable with expressing them, or maybe people just made you feel weird, or you didn't want to say like, oh, like, I'm psychic, or like I can do this. Like maybe you felt like you were going crazy or something. I don't really like the whole term of indigo and crystal children, because I honestly feel like it means the same thing. I feel like it just means that, like, it means that you have gifts. It means that you have psychic ability. So either it's like an indigo, crystal, or a rainbow child, it's like you still have a psychic ability. So I feel like this is definitely reinforcement that you have these gifts. I also feel like you're able to kind of identify them in other people also. I also feel like there's just been a lot of like change that it has been imposed by spirit. I also do see the imagery of like scales, which again I was saying like with the number two, I feel like the number two represents, you know, the evening of the scales, or like just balance and duality. And then also in this card, we also have the imagery of the scales, like the man is standing on scales. So I feel like things are really being balanced out in your life right now. I feel like if you have been feeling maybe a little bit disrupted, or you just been feeling caught off guard, I feel like it's all part of divine timing and divine order, and I feel like you just have to embrace that and know that this you're being moved in the right direction. Like I don't get any like negative energies from this group. I just feel like you guys are being pushed in a direction right now that's really going to be enlightened, like really going to be serving your life purpose and your life path. Another thing that came through was creative writing. So I feel like you guys, perhaps like part of your psychic gifts is also like automatic writing or being able to channel messages through writing. So it's possible that you guys just need to like get like a notebook and like, you know, work on like channeling messages from your angels, from your guides, from spirit, and see what comes out, because I feel like this is also something that you are able to do. Um, so then we have be proud, gratitude, ancestral wisdom, and then a child's love. So like we were saying earlier, I'm pretty sure we drew a card of gratitude earlier, but yeah, I feel like you guys need to just be thankful for where you're at right now in your life. You know, like regardless of what's going on in your life or what may be happening around you, I feel like you just really need to express like gratitude for how far you've come. I also feel like this person is praying, you know, so I feel like spirit really wants you to just connect and just to be thankful, like to put that energy out there into the universe, you know, that you're so grateful for these gifts and you're so grateful for how far you've come in your journey. I feel like that's really going to be beneficial to you. And it's saying like if you focus on gratitude, you attract prosperity and abundance. So it's like what you put out there is always what's going to come back, like the laws of energy. So I feel like that's something that you need to really be honoring right now. With the card of be proud, it's like be proud of how far you've come in your journey. This is also like a lot of green symbolism, which tells me that like it's connected to like the heart chakra. So I feel like you just need to honor what your heart and your emotions are telling you right now. And just be proud of like how far you've come. I think that's just like really what spirit's saying, like just pat yourself on the back a little bit. Perhaps you guys are tend to be a bit hard on yourselves, or you put a lot of pressure on yourselves, but like just be proud of like where you are and how far you've come in your journey. With ancestral wisdom, I feel like a lot of your guides right now, like a lot of your ancestors are watching over you. They're giving you messages, like they're giving you a lot of downloads. And I feel like you are the person that's going to be breaking a lot of generational curses. So I feel like your mission, your soul mission here is to really work on healing a lot of the past life karma, not only for you but also for your ancestors also. I feel like your mission here is very, very important on this earth. And I feel like you guys are being pushed in a direction that's really just going to be empowering, not only for you but for a lot of people around you. I'm also getting that some of you guys might even be like people that work in like the field of like service or like philanthropy, or maybe that's something that you've been wanting to do. But I feel like your soul mission here is very, very strong. And I think that you guys are going to go very far. We have a child's love here, so it's possible that some of you guys might even be parents that are watching this. But like if you're not, I feel like this is just talking about honoring your inner child, like I was saying earlier, because we did have the indigo and crystal children plus, you know, this card of a child's love. So I feel like for some of you guys, maybe you as a child you were not, maybe you felt like a little bit crazy for having these gifts, or you just felt like, you know, you couldn't express them properly. But I feel like you need to kind of like heal from that and like release that, because you know you definitely are someone who is very gifted. You have a very strong mission in this life, and I feel like the more that you tap into that and the more that you honor that, is the more that you are going to be seeing blessings manifest around you. I also feel like some of you guys may even have like talents in music. So maybe some of you have been wanting to pursue music if you don't pursue it already. And Spirit is definitely saying that this is going to be helpful to you. I also feel like that is part of one of your divine gifts also. Like maybe you're able to channel messages through music, or Spirit speaks to you through songs. That's also another message that's coming through. But yeah, guys, these are all the messages that I have for you guys. I hope that this was insightful and helpful, and I hope that this was a really powerful healing message for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!